Alrighty, welcome back to another video. Jeez, this video took so much out of me. I originally had this recorded like a while back, and I was thinking like, hey, you know what, let me edit it a little bit and I can post it up as a testing video for Vernix. And then I realized, first of all, the video had no sound, and then something just happened with the video and it got utterly destroyed. So here I am back again doing another Vernix testing video about this guy or this girl or whoever she is. Right, so Vernix was one of the new wildcat families that came out, and I think she is still the latest Vernix, the latest wildcat family to come out. I don't think there's anyone that came out after her. I might be wrong. I don't think I am. I'm not wrong. Okay, so the wildcat families has always been known to be very ridiculously powerful. You include heroes like Thaffer, you include heroes like Stravia, which was annoying, and then you have the most annoying one, the tank of choice right now for some of the top tier alliances, Imagus, the purple cat that does not want to die and keeps giving wither in terms of the attack wither to enemies, which is really annoying. So, but Vernix, I would say, is not really a defensive champion. It's not something that you would want to use on defense. She is more, something we want to call a synergy reliant hero, that you would want something to synergize with her in order for her to be at her full potential. Now, I like Vernix from the moment I saw her special skill, and the only reason why I went ahead and pulled for her was because I had certain heroes that I could pair her with, and one of those is actually on this team right now. So Skarn would be an option here because he gives frost, and I realized I did not tell you why. So let's look back at Vernix. Now, Vernix has this ability: if any enemy has the frost status ailment already, it deals 310% damage to all enemies, reduces the mana of all enemies by 5%, and they take a huge amount of frost damage over 5 turns. Otherwise, if they don't have the frost ailment, they only take 260% damage, and they receive a decent amount of frost damage, setting up for her next time you cast a special skill. But you can negate this bottom part altogether if you have someone to fire and give frost damage before she fires, and therein comes Skarn. There are other options as well. You can use Costume Pengi, you can use there are some other heroes, and I think the latest one, which was released I think 4 weeks before Vernix, was actually Glacivolt, the new construct hero. And the new construct hero gave defense down depending on the number of blue tiles on the board, and at the same time Glacivolt also gives frost damage to all enemies. Now you only need one of those frost damage to stick, because then Vernix can activate the front of her ability, which is quite powerful given her stats. Now I've decided it's been a while since I've done the video before this, and I have finally landed on a team that I think would suit Vernix the most, and that is using Vernix together with Skarn, together with a support system of Orker to give additional health. And then in case things go wrong, there's also Fafnir, and then there's Ragrim as well to heal. Now Ragrim is much newer than Vernix. I was pretty happy to get Ragrim, all because of this the growth ability, as well as it's sort of like a fiend counter to the vegetables as well. So we're gonna see if that actually comes up in the video. But yeah, so I'm gonna just show you how I would run Vernix, and this will be a good random team to go against. We're just gonna do a couple of hits and show you why I think this team is one of the best. If I can get tiles, otherwise this is gonna be a headache. So basically, what you need is 8 blue tiles essentially. So you need basically 3 normal blue matches in order for her to get the engine going. And now, obviously, if you go against a hero like Fafnir as a tank, she herself is not going to be affected by the frost damage, but it doesn't matter because her allies would unfortunately be affected by the frost damage. Now, we couldn't get Orca. The reason why I wanted Orca in there so is for the innate dispel, 25% chance to dispel random dispellable effects. But it doesn't matter because then, the only one who's not going to be affected is most likely Songjiang, and there's a certain chance that, this Fafnir will not be affected, and then Ruan Xiaoqi potentially not affected as well. But Regine and Regine and Astrid are guaranteed to get hit, so which is why we get to trigger Vernix here, which should deal quite a bit of damage here. How much damage is she getting taken now? It's 263. It looks like she might survive, so I might need to deal some damage to her. Hopefully she dies before she fires again, which is going to be very annoying. There's one more effect. 2 tiles should do it. No, 2 tiles do not. And Vernix, you better revive. I'm talking so much about wildcats, and thank God you revive. Okay. So there's also a reason why I want to use Fafnir here, is basically because she's able to give frost damage as well, just in case Skarn dies, because Skarn is not the newest. There's going to be issues when using Skarn, and therefore I think this is one of the best ways to kind of like have a backup just in case Skarn dies, as you can see from this raid attack as well. So I'm just gonna be taking this down. I think I might need to use Fafnir right now because I want to kill the left side. The right side. And I'm going to save. I'm gonna save Orca for a minute here. And you see now we have the frost damage. You see this is the frost damage here. So as long as they have a frost damage, Vernix will deal a bit more damage here. You can see now 615 frost damage per turn times 5 is 3000 frost damage, which is basically this top part of the ability. All enemies receive 3075 frost damage since they already have the frost status ailment on top of them. So yeah, it looks like we got this out of the bag, even though we got ourselves whooped. Skarn did not survive, but that's right. Also, the growth helps us a lot because then the damage from the frost actually, I do believe, increases. We can test that out right now. I just want to see what happens. Hold on. So now you have 3075 frost damage. Let's see what happens if I try to get Ragrim to go off again. Okay, so if I use Ragrim again, let's see how much frost damage it becomes right now. So let's see. Oh, it's still 3000. It's still 3075. Okay, it's good to know. So the growth does not get affected, but it affects Fafnir, which is why it's such a good pairing here. So there we go. That is essentially how I would run Vernix. There we go. This bum-ass Imagus. Okay, we can try using this. Although in this case, this is fine because I have 2 ways to counter the Wither. I have the growth here, and I also have the growth here. So we should be a-okay. So let's see. Now, ideally, of course, I don't want to keep hitting into Imagus, but I do believe in this case the strategy would be to keep hitting into Imagus and then use Orca and Ragrim as much as I can in order for me to gain back my attack stat. Now, we know that from the Wither, it is not going to affect Vernix here. So 3075 frost damage is still there, so that's good. But I do need to get my tiles quickly. So we do want to not activate Skarn just yet because there is this ability cleanser status ailment at the end of each turn. In this case, I might need to adjust this a little bit. I don't think Ragrim here or Fafnir would be an option because they might be a bit too slow against this kind of team. But the whole aim for this is just to test this out first. Okay, so let's see. We deal damage here. We got everybody alive. The thing is, right now we have a lot of reduced healing, so this is a problem. But we can remove a lot of the fiends, so this is potentially good. Also, we managed to remove quite a bit of growth damage as well, which is good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Karn here. We're going to use Vernix, and then we're going to use Fafnir. Actually, I should have used Fafnir first. That is an oversight, because that way we don't overlap the frost damage. Now is being overlapped thanks to Fafnir's frost going instead of Vernix. So that is something worth remembering. So just to keep an eye on. Also, going against Imagus, one of the huge problems is that whenever Imagus fires, he does that ability where he managed to cleanse every ability from people here, which is a problem, obviously. Yeah, so we might fall into a little bit of problems here. I don't believe I'm winning this, especially losing Skarn so early and losing Fafnir, and the fact that we get crippled. So this is essentially not a very good team to bring against Imagus. I just wanted to showcase, how this team actually works, and yeah, we are getting into trouble right now. I need Ragrim, and then there's the counter attack as well. Oh, this is not good. Okay, now you can see Vernix hitting pretty hard. It reduces mana, which means we won't even get Ragrim, and this thing is a lost. So this is basically to show that there are some teams where Vernix might not be the best, especially going against this kind of team. It's not really the best way to kind of like bring certain teams. You can't bring basically an ailment team against Imagus. That is actually pretty difficult to deal against. So you definitely don't want to do that. So usually then you would try to find something else, some other teams that would, have a potential to be better. Even against this team, like against Sludgers, you rarely see Sludgers on defense anymore. But even then, against Sludgers, it's actually kind of difficult to actually deal with Sludgers, especially in this kind of position where you are hoping that the ailment will stick, and most of the time it will not, because Sludgers will have the dance and then you are screwed. Yeah, okay, hold on. Alright, so I want to do Orchid first. I'm hoping to be able to kill Songjang here so that it doesn't be a problem. Let's see if we can do that. I do believe we can kill. There we go. Alright, so they're going to take some frost damage. They're going to take some damage here. And I think this is where it is also very important to have some adjustments to your team. Like bringing Ragrim here isn't the best because you already have Orchid as the growth. So the reason why I brought Ragrim in was basically to counter any vegetables that we see. But in this case, there were no vegetables here. So in this case, it's actually not the best idea to kind of bring Ragrim here. The only thing that he does is basically to increase the growth effect on people. So that is about it. And the reason why I'm not making that green match, popping that green, even though it gets me Fafnir, is that if I pop the green dragon, it's going to get Dulafur to fire, which I don't want. So instead, what I can do is I can use Fafnir right now to kind of kill the entire left side, keep the frost going, and yeah, get this thing done. Why are you still alive? Okay, you should be dead from this. Okay, yeah. So that is essentially how I would run my most optimal team to run Vernix on. And obviously there will be some changes, like you really have to see how to adjust your team especially going against certain defenses. Now, against this team, for example, it's kind of difficult to use Vernix here, and again, Ragrim will not be the best idea. So definitely you want to switch this out. You might want to switch. Maybe you don't need Ochre here. You want to switch it out with someone else. Say maybe someone like, let's see, maybe something like Riverfang to help dispel, and then you have maybe you swap something out here. You have a taunt, or you have something that helps you control Ceres or Teffer here, in which case I would bring something like this. Now obviously this team, this one will be a bit weak, I would say, against a team like this, but it's worth trying. Essentially what you're trying to maintain is just Vernix and Skarn, and then the rest of the team you can easily swap in and out, just to make sure that you kind of make things work together against a certain team composition. You need to be flexible with what you with your team compositions, because otherwise then it becomes quite a problem. If you don't have the flexibility, then you might just end up wondering why you lost when in fact you didn't bring a proper answer to certain things. And I don't like the fact that I swapped out my greens and I had a whole bunch of greens that I could work with. Okay, Teffer is gonna hit like a truck. Don't kill me. Okay. So he clans, that is good. So we got the clans away. We don't have any fiends, so it doesn't matter. Teffer is going to hit like a truck, but we're going to hope that we can survive an onslaught of Teffer here, and I'm hoping that he doesn't hit into Vernix. Please don't hit into Vernix, thank you. So now the frost damage is on. What we can do is put Riverfang in so that the water damage also hits Songjiang and Ceres, and then we can do Vernix here. Now I'm going to save the red match, because that frost and all this ailment damage will be enough to kill Teffer, and she did not revive. Teffer did not revive. That is new. Okay, but essentially this is going to be game over from here, because yeah, Stravia, you can do everything you want. I don't care. You get reflected anyways, and then we can use Ceres to kind of get things done. Yep, here we go. We can do another reflag. We can get Ceres to go again. Oh, we got our blues as well. So Stravia, you're not long for this world, and you're gonna get back all your stupid ailments. And yeah, revive again, no problem. See, just trying to keep the core thing going, because we can use Karn here, we can use Vernix. Shit, I shouldn't have fired into her, but it doesn't matter. Okay, we can do the same thing again. At some point you're gonna die, and then we can move on with the video. I don't have to stick on this video for so long. There we go. Alright. Okay, so that is essentially how I would run Vernix, and how Vernix is in war hits, in raid hits. This is essentially how it looks like. You can switch it out depending on how you would want to switch out, but essentially you would want Vernix together with whatever frost damage engine that you can give her, and then that way you can kind of like align whatever it is in terms of either you want more firepower, you want more support, you want more utility to stay alive, maybe you need a dispel, maybe you need a cleanse. It depends, but I think the main kind of pairing is to have Vernix together with some other hero that gives frost damage. Now obviously, if you were to ask me, I think one of the best ways to run her would be Vernix with Riverfang and Glacier Vault, because that way you can use Glacier Vault first, then you use River Fang, and then you use Vernix, and it should potentially kill a side depending on which side that you hit River Fang with. And then yeah, you can pair that tree with some support. You know, you can put the taunt in if you want to, or you can put something that increases the damage from you know, something that gives attack up, something that gives kind of like protection against against, you know, things that you are going to encounter on the defense. So that way you make sure that you know, the core idea here is to just use Vernix to be the one that deals the bulk of the damage here. So I hope this helps, and hopefully this video comes out before the end of the week, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. GG.